News. Welcome to STEM City USA's coverage of the Women of Color STEM Conference. Through all 3 days, we will be bringing you incredible interviews with inspiring STEM pioneers leading the way in industry, government, academia, and around the world. And now, please welcome our next guest.
Hi, I'm Aysa Pena, and I work for Google as a technical program manager. Fun fact about me, I'm a mother of droids. In my former professional life as a mechanical engineer designing theme park attractions, I once designed and delivered 78 astromech units from the Star Wars universe. So you could say, I'm pretty fond of droids.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you for coming and joining us here. What made you decide to go into engineering?
I have to thank my father for that. As a Black man in this country, he was very concerned about me having only 2 daughters, being able to take care of myself personally. So I grew up really interested in the arts. I did a lot of musical theater and performance, and that was something I really wanted to do. And I think his big concern was, how are you going to feed yourself? And I loved math and physics. So he actually was the one who floated the idea of engineering in my head and was like, you know, you can do engineering and you can still do all these like artsy things that you do, but like you'll eat and I won't have to worry about you. And so that's really how I ended up getting into it, was his influence. And I think the parallels between the creative side of who I am in engineering is you're still a creator. You're designing solutions. You're making the world a better place. And so ultimately, it was a great decision. I don't regret it at all. But it definitely came from a father's concern over me being able to eat.
But you've had an interesting movement of interest. So from working at Google, so how was that? I mean, Google's everywhere. It's planted in the whole world. How did you like working there?
I've definitely enjoyed it. I think the global impact, which you touched on, is something that is really important to me. And in the particular field that I work in, which is robotics and automation, the focus was on how to improve the work lives of our Googlers. So that was something that really spoke to my sense of fulfillment. How do we provide new tools for the Googlers that are, for instance, working in our data centers to improve their day-to-day, to make sure that we're reducing their toil or the human touches and free them up to do the things that they're really passionate about. And that's incredibly interesting to me.
I love it. But that means that you have that kind of spirit.
I guess so.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I guess
you
so,
have
yeah.
to have that kind of spirit. But now you were a former Disney Imagineer.
Yes.
So Google Imagineer, tell me what that means.
Yeah,
what did you do with Disney?
So I was an Imagineer. I developed ride systems. So the moving physical machines that will take you through an experience, that was my bread and butter.
What?
But I'm also a writer.
Wait.
Yes.
What do you mean? You created all the rides and stuff?
Oh, I can't claim all the rides.
Well, not all the rides, but most of the rides, or a lot of the rides.
So my biggest project with when I was working for Disney was the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance attraction, which is in 2 different parks, and I was responsible for the trackless vehicle design and the droids that go on there. It was an incredible project, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so it was really exciting to also be able to tap into that nerdum. And it also allowed me to be incredibly creative. So I really enjoyed my time there, and it was about just under 2 years ago that an individual from Google tapped me on the shoulder and was like, hey, I don't know if you'd be interested in maybe switching things up, but your eye for storytelling and for really understanding the customer's needs. In the art, for Disney, it's the guest, what the guest needs, but also something we don't often think about is when you're designing these systems, they also have to be so reliable and they have to be operated by a fleet of operators.
Oh, okay.
So how do you create experiences not just for the guests that experience them, but for the operators and the mechanics and the electricians and all of that have to be able to maintain these in such a short amount of time because they have to be back up and running the next day for more guests to enjoy.
Okay. But that's a lot of movement, though.
Yes. And
Right.
it's a lot of movement and it's a lot of collaboration between so many different stakeholders. And that was kind of the interest of like, these skill sets may not seem necessarily the same, but you can bring those fundamentals into now a technology company and focusing on how do you serve the customer in the best way.
Yeah, and the customer is always the priority.
Always.
Always. I don't care what you're doing, what your title is, right?
Yes. Yes.
That
The
bread
user.
and butter. That's your bread and butter.
Absolutely.
So, but also now you go from one extreme to another, which I think is absolutely creative. What is it about Star Wars?
Yeah. So I told you I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, and so I spent 5 to 6 years of my professional life in that world designing ride systems and droids that would eventually bring that world to life in a Disney park so people can go enjoy that. And hopefully we'll be able to enjoy it for decades, which has been truly incredible. Like I can still go to a Disney park and experience something that I had a hand in and take my family to experience it. That's an incredible blessing.
So what's next for you? You have gone up the biggest mountains. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like for real.
It's a great question. I'm not sure. I have a framework of which I view work. So I ask myself 3 simple questions. Will this energize me? Will it fulfill me? And then I think this is really important, especially for women. Will I get recognition for the work? And that's my simple framework for which I pass opportunities through. So what's next? I'm not sure. I like to have fun. I like to be challenged. And I also, as technical as I am, I need a creative outlet. So I'm always looking for spaces that are going to allow me to do that. And if they answer my 3 questions properly, let's try it.
So you actually would turn down something because it doesn't meet your matrix.
I think that's really important to do that because otherwise we may be giving our time and energy to things that no longer serve us. And it took me a while to get there. That framework is new. It's less than 6 months old, but it's one way to also protect our mental health and ensure that we're working on things that really do fulfill our personal needs. And we should be able to attack our work with passion. And if you're not filtering it through your own personal framework, you may be working on things that you don't really care about. And then that's not going to elicit your best.
Right. That's exactly right. Because then you're bored.
Exactly.
And you sit there looking out the windows.
That's the
I
worst.
actually want to go. What time is the bell go ring? Right?
I don't want to be bored. That's very important.
I don't see you as being bored looking at this list, girl. So in looking at this, yeah, I just want to reiterate what they've already done on the movie or the ad.
Okay.
But you've collaborated with and written for Marvel, ESPN, Lucasfilms, like Lucasfilms, Lucasfilms, and Disney. How did you even see yourself there? Because you got to kind of see yourself there to get there. What did you see?
So I am a writer, and that will always be a part of my DNA. And it took me a while to get there. I was not bringing my full self or my full skill set to work every day until very recently. But I realized that that's part of showing up as our authentic self. And so I realized I have this skill set and I can find opportunities to use it. And when I do, and you do it well, those opportunities are going to start to multiply. And so I started pitching content, was able to get a job as like a shadow writer for ESPN creative content, which opened up a lot of these opportunities, and I got exposure and training, and that led to other things. And so really it's about knowing, again, about your passion and knowing your craft and just executing on it. Like if you're a writer, you have to write. If you're an engineer, you have to engineer. But by doing that work, aligning it with like your values and doing it well, it's going to create other opportunities for you to find that space. And I'm really all about I hate labels because I'm all over the place, as I think you could probably already see. Like I'm many things. But you can create spaces for yourself when you know who you really are and what you're interested in doing, because you have that clear goal already for like what it is that, at least work-wise, like what is it I want to work on? I want to do something fun, creative, and technical. You can find space.
So you're in the 4th grade.
Okay, take it back.
You're in the 4th grade. Yep. What were 3 things that you thought were interesting?
Animals. I loved animals.
What kind of animals?
Anything. I think for a little bit I thought I wanted to be a veterinarian because my older sister did. So like I always thought, it'd be so cool to do things with animals. Oh man, the 4th grade. That's so specific. I also love dinosaurs until this day. Love dinosaurs. I think that was the first time I tried reading Jurassic Park. And I was a tap dancer. I had just discovered my first musical, The Wizard of Oz, as Munchkin number 9, and started tap dancing. So I think those are. Does that answer your question?
Did you say Munchkin's number 9?
That was Munchkin number 9, and I stole the show. I had a big old.
I know you did.
My energy was way too much for an ensemble character, but I had a blast.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so let's journey on up to about your 9th grade.
Okay.
What were you doing at your first high school experience?
Yeah, that I remember much more clearly.
I don't know, but you did all right with the gymnastics and all that other stuff. Go ahead.
I think that's when I discovered physics. And physics to me was the most exciting thing because it was like the ability to use math to predict the world, and suddenly everything felt in order.
Oh, wait a minute. Did you see the little thing that when you write on the chalkboard and you
Right,
have the
just like
little
you
thing
shoot the
laid
ball,
out?
you know,
and so that's what you did?
Yes, and it was like suddenly like, oh my God, the world follows rules and I can predict that.
Yes.
It was like, I don't know, my
Yes.
mind, a beautiful mind was happening, right? Like the whole universe had been unlocked. Of course it hadn't, but like the possibilities were endless. So I think physics was something that I was super, super excited about. I was still very artsy, so I wanted to be that art kid too at the same time, who was taking AP classes, but also like doing fine arts, like and
Painting or
I've tried painting. I've tried it all. I'm okay at it. Not
Okay.
great,
Yeah,
but I still love it.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
like I can't claim any skills. And then I think, what else was I doing in 9th grade? Dance. I kept dance. Yeah.
Yeah, tap, ballet, modern.
It was modern at this time. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, see, I see you doing modern.
Can you?
I see you doing modern because that's that freestyle.
And it's storytelling.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Through your body and the movement of your
Exactly.
limbs. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Oh, you are incredible.
It's
I
a
love
through
you.
line. It's a through line of my life.
So what's next for you?
What's next for me? I'm working at Google and loving that. We just moved to Atlanta a year ago for this job, so definitely not another relocation in the near future.
Okay.
We're getting used to Atlanta and love that. And I think something that I would like to start doing more of again is working on education and training opportunities for the next generation. So that's something that I'm hoping to pursue, and will be creating some opportunities there for myself, because I think it's really important. One, representation is really important for people to see themselves in places of success. And I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to help people envision themselves in places that maybe they would never have thought they could be before. And just get people interested in technology, because there's a lot of really great things that we can do. It's just, again, it's about exposure. So I think the next chapter of my life might be more focused on training and development.
So I see you won an award.
Yes, ma'am.
And which award? Because I didn't see the film.
Rising Technology.
Oh, I love that.
Oh.
I love that. So you're new. But you've been rocking to even get that award.
Thank you.
Okay. And 28 years later, here we are.
Yeah.
And you're expected to be here for the next 28.
Okay. 28 is so specific. Where did we get 28 from?
Because it's 28 years.
Oh, so we're talking about 56.
Okay.
56th
All right.
anniversary. Got it.
All right.
Yeah.
So you've got to be around. You've got to be active with this.
Yeah. Okay.
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 All right.
I'm here for
We're
it.
here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it with you.
Okay.
All right. Aysa, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It was wonderful meeting
Yeah,
you.
you as
And I wish
well.
you all the best. And I know that you're on a fast track, girl. We do know that.
Thank you.
We
That's very
do know
kind.
that. Congratulations. And I better see you next year.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's a
All
and you
right.
already said it, so it's a commitment.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair.
All right. Thank you so much. Take care.